Listen up. Welcome to This Explainer. Look, if you're a young entrepreneur, a freelancer, or a professional working in India right now, and you are absolutely sick and tired of the average lifestyle, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we are not looking at some soft, sweet self-care manual. No way. This is an elite military briefing for ultimate market dominance, straight from the aggressively brilliant mind of billionaire real estate mogul Grant Cardone, author of the 10X Rule. We're going to completely tear down the illusion of settling for average. So let's dive right in. Adjustment, compromise. Think about this for a second. Since childhood, especially in our culture, we've been conditioned with phrases that basically just mean shrink your dreams to fit your reality. We're constantly told to adjust, to be realistic, to not ask for too much. But as Grant Cardone points out, this cultural conditioning, it's a fatal disease for ambitious entrepreneurs. I mean, instead of shrinking your feet to fit a tiny blanket, you need to ruthlessly figure out how to get a massive blanket. That old mindset is totally toxic. All right, moving into section 1, the core 10X formula, massive goals and actions. Now, the absolute biggest mistake we make when starting a new project or business is underestimation. Let's say you just launched a digital marketing agency. The normal, weak way of planning assumes, okay, I'll make 5 calls today, and surely I'll land 2 clients by the end of the month, right? But what actually happens? 4 people don't pick up, 1 yells at you, your internet drops, and then a competitor undercuts your price. You end up depressed, thinking your whole business model is broken. But listen to me, your business wasn't broken, your assumption was. If you plan for 50 calls instead, your mind is instantly prepared for massive resistance. Even if 40 people flat out reject you, you still have 10 solid prospects. You hit your target because you completely overwhelmed the failure rate with sheer volume. So the crucial point here boils down to this singular number, 10. The golden equation of success is taking your current target and multiplying it by 10. Then, take the effort you thought was required and multiply that by 10. Honestly, underestimating the required work is your absolute biggest enemy on the battlefield of business. Let's move to section 2, the 4 levels of action, rules of engagement. Here is the battlefield mapped out for you. Level 1, do nothing. These are the people who have already surrendered. They just scroll reels all day, complain about the economy, and go to sleep. The consequence? Absolute failure. Level 2, retreat. Now, these people try, but the second they face rejection, like a rude prospect on a cold call, they run away in terror. Consequence? Living in perpetual fear. Then we jump all the way to level 4, massive action. This is beast mode, the elite zone. These players don't care about resources, they just execute. While normal people send 2 proposals, they're sending 20. Consequence? Market dominance and extreme wealth. But wait, you might be thinking, didn't we skip one? Yes, we did. Level 3, normal action. Notice the storm clouds gathering here. Cardone bluntly states that this is the absolute most dangerous level on the board. The whole world is packed with level 3 operators, doing the standard 9 to 5, putting in average effort, earning an average salary, living what they think is a safe life. But, guys, it is a trap. When a recession hits or a pandemic strikes, this is the very first group that gets destroyed. Average isn't safe. It is literally the riskiest, most vulnerable place you can possibly be. Let's look at section 3. Dominate, never just compete. Massive force. Traditional business schools fill your head with absolute garbage. They tell you to look at your competitors and just try to be, slightly better. Cardone destroys this myth completely. He says competition is for losers, dominance is for winners. You should not be trying to share the pie. You need to operate with such overwhelming force that consumers completely forget your competitors even exist. Let's make this super tactical. Let's say you run a local bakery. If you're just competing, maybe you put up 1 billboard. But if you're applying the 10X rule for dominance, you execute these steps. First, you are posting 5 times a day on every single social platform. Second, you're aggressively handing out samples to every local influencer you can find. Third, you are omnipresent at every single community event. When someone in your city even thinks the word cake, your brand is the absolutely only thing that flashes in their mind. That is how massive marketing makes the competition entirely irrelevant. All right, section 4. Destroy obscurity and fear. And neutralize fear. Prepare to have another business myth completely shattered. Every book out there says customer satisfaction is key, but Cardone argues that a customer can only be satisfied after they actually buy from you. The vast majority of businesses do not fail because of bad customer service. They fail because of obscurity. They fail because nobody even knows they exist.
A lack of attention is exactly why you are failing to scale right now.
The math of the marketplace is lethal. You can literally have the greatest product in the world, but if you have zero marketing, it equals obscurity, which guarantees failure. But what about a decent product backed by 10x massive outreach and relentless attention grabbing? That equals ubiquity, extreme success. Your primary obsession must be acquisition and attention. You can 10x your customer satisfaction execution after you've actually captured their attention. The second killer out there is your own cowardice. When you start taking massive action, you're gonna face fear. It's inevitable, but you must rewire your brain right now. Fear is not a red light. Fear is a green signal. It means you are stepping out of your comfort zone. If you are terrified of making a specific pitch to a massive client, that is the exact proof that calling them is the very first thing you must do today. Attack it immediately. Next up, Section 5, the 10x traits, psychological framework. These are the specific habits of hyper-successful titans. First, be unapologetically obsessed. The average world is going to call you crazy. Let them. History is only written by the obsessed. No one ever changed the world by being normal. Second, keep expanding. When you hit a target, do not stop and throw a party. Immediately set the next 10x goal. Growth only happens in expansion. Third, commit first, figure out the details later. When a massive opportunity presents itself, just say yes. Commit entirely and then work day and night to figure out how to pull it off. Those who wait for perfection are always left behind. And finally, Section 6, your 10x marching orders, relentless execution. I want you to execute these commands today. First, rewrite your goals tonight. Seriously, rip up your old targets. If you wanted to make 1 lakh this month from your business, cross it out and write 10 lakh. Second, multiply your activity. If you are posting 2 reels a day, your new mandate is 20. Content volume absolutely blocks out the market. Third, attack your fears first thing every single morning. Get it out of the way. And finally, take absolute, brutal ownership. No more excuses about the economy or clients not paying or being too small. Take ownership of every single failure because only then do you have the power to control and change your destiny. This is the only question that matters now. The tactical breakdown is complete. You know that adjustment is a trap. You know that normal effort is a death sentence in a crisis. You now have the 10x formula to eradicate obscurity and totally crush your competition through sheer omnipresent volume. The tools are right there in your hands. So the final question is simply this: will you stay average or will you dominate?